Well, thanks again, everybody, for being here today. I'm Fernanda Soza. I'm the Executive Director of ChileMass. And we hope that today it's the same as it was in 2019 for our previous Innovation Day, to be a place where we can convey people from the US and Chile to start new projects, new ideas, new challenges for everybody. So we are so thankful for having you all today. If somebody can put my slides. Yeah, that's my slide. We want to start thanking especially our supporters, MIT Sloan Latin American Office with Javiera here, but also with Lee Ullman, that he's not here, but we are missing him here. And our sponsors, Triumph Modular, you can see a great stand outside in the lobby, and also Colbún. You know, many times people ask us why connecting these two very different places as Chile and Massachusetts. You know, it's very different language, culture, landscape, of course, weather too. We are more than 5,000 miles away, but one really good thing about working between Chile and Massachusetts that we have almost the whole year the same time zone. That is a very good difference with the other coast. But we are really different. Probably you know that Chile has many good products. For example, everybody knows Chile because of the mining products, especially copper, and because we produce salmon, fruits, wine, probably. We will have a great wine in the afternoon, the Viña Rasuris wine. So we hope to have you there at the Venture Cafe too. But do you know what is the main product that Massachusetts imports from Chile? Probably you will never guess. It's not wine, it's not fruit, it's not copper. It is salt. But salt for the roads of Massachusetts. You know, during the winter, this freaking cold, and all the roads get frozen. So we need a lot of salt. And all that salt comes from Chile. So it's very funny that I always think when I'm driving my car in winter or walking my dog in the sidewalk, that I'm walking over Chilean soil. I will think about that. But that's a reality. But we have a lot more things in common, not only the salt. We are very far away, as we say, but 11 years ago, we started an agreement, an MOU that was signed between the two governments. Deval Patrick, at that time, the governor, went to Chile to sign it. And that was the moment that we started developing this collaboration that has grown over the years. ChileMass emerged as the result of one of the main pillars of the foreign policy of Chile, and which seeks to foster innovation in technology, energy, education, and economic development to successfully insert the country into the fourth industrial revolution. We have also the support of the Massachusetts government through the Massachusetts Office of Trade and Investment. We really missed here also Mark Sullivan, the executive director of that office. He was outside the US today, but he's really a great ally of ChileMass. One of our main goals is to promote innovation. We believe that innovation is like a virus, it's contagious. It is necessary to be connected to innovative ecosystem like this one to inoculate us with this creativity. It is not coincidence that Boston has been recognized as the #1 city in the United States in the ranking Innovation That Matters from the Chamber of Commerce Foundation here in the US for years in a row. Chile, on the other side, according to the World Bank, has been one of the best managed, fastest growing economies in Latin America since the 1990s. Chile was the first South American country to join the OECD and is the most stable country in the region. Mining has been traditionally one of the strongest industries in Chile. However, in recent times, new sectors have emerged too. 5 years ago, in 2017, thanks to the strategic and financial support of the Embassy of Chile and of Corfo, the economic agency for economic development of the government of Chile, Chile, Massachusetts was born. Now we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization located here in Boston, in Kendall Square, very close by. And our mission is to build a bridge of knowledge transfer between Chile and Massachusetts to promote sustainable development and improve the quality of life of people in both territories. In this picture, you can see a meeting that we had last year with the previous ambassador and Governor Baker, the current governor, in a meeting that we had the honor to receive a recognition on behalf of ChileMass for being a model for international economies to build relationships with Massachusetts. And why create this kind of collaborations? In this new knowledge-based economy in which we are now living, the gap between rich and the emerging countries has increased and will probably continue to grow over the years. The pandemic has only deepened this trend. The 21st century demands a transformation of the productive matrix towards a greater incorporation of technology and knowledge. What is happening in Chile right now? As you can see in this graph, Chile was growing very well in the last 30 years, and it was an example for many Latin American countries, producing more each year, reducing poverty from 40% to less than 10%. But this trend changed dramatically approximately in 2013-14. Productivity at that time clearly began to fall. We are now, as you can see, in an inflection point. We start clearly declining. After experiencing 30 years of prosperity, today we are facing a potential growth of the economy that is much more mediocre. We clearly need to do something different. There are many factors that can explain this drop in growth, but there are two key factors that play a fundamental role and that we need to invest in. First is education, and an education that is adapted to the 21st century. You know, education with the 4 C's that they call: critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity. We need to change that in Chile dramatically. And the second factor is the aggressive incorporation of technology in our production processes, and we need to do that as soon as possible. Both factors are also intrinsically connected. It is not possible to have a technology-based production if we have serious deficit in education, from preschools to universities. And that has been the focus of ChileMass work. How can we really transform that economy, change that trend? Well, Boston is a great example of this. Boston did exactly this 4 decades ago with an amazing transformation. From the 50s to the 80s, Boston was clearly a city that was declining. It was an industrial city centered in manufacturing and services, with more people that was leaving the city than the people that was coming. Real estate prices were at its lowest. But in the 80s, only 40 years ago, it's nothing, Boston and Massachusetts in general changed this trend and began an amazing transformation into the thriving digital and knowledge-based economy that we can see today. Massachusetts is now the world capital in higher education, with more than 100 universities, many of them, as you know, like here, MIT and Harvard, that we are going to be tomorrow, that are ranked like the best in the world. The most important also is the most important center for biotech and health sciences, and the world reference in robotics and clean tech. How can we change this trend in Chile? How can we change that downward trend? Well, there are many ways to do this, but investing in education, sorry, I didn't change this. Investing in education and incorporation and technology, as I said before, is key. We are convinced that the ChileMass model is an excellent way to help countries like ours to change this trend. Our model is a private, non-profit organization that works closely with the public and private stakeholders in a very nimble and innovative way. It's an excellent response to the challenges of the knowledge-based economy. We can help change the downward trend to start growing again, helping Chile connect with one of the most important poles of knowledge and innovation in the world today, such as is Boston. In this image, you can see the inspiration of our logo. If you see, our logo is the Sacking Bridge, the one that you're seeing there is a bridge that is outside here in Boston, and also the Andes Mountains. So that's the inspiration of our logo. And it's the idea of creating this bridge as broad as possible to bring more knowledge to both places. This is a two-way bridge, we always say that, because we also try to bring knowledge from Chile to the US. We have a lot to offer. What we do? We many times make jokes that we are the Match.com of international knowledge. But we are much more than that. We connect different stakeholders and help them all the way to create amazing projects that can create impact. We tend to fall in love with our projects, we have to confess that. So we follow and help them through all their inspiring journeys. We are doers. You will always find in us a passionate team that cares for your projects and that will do whatever is possible to create positive impact. Our main asset is the network of collaborators that we have here in Boston and in Chile. And the best proof is having you all here and all the people that are streaming here right now from Chile that are probably from here and other places in the US that are listening to us today. Like the need of a physical infrastructures, countries also need, like, for example, I don't know, highways, utility lines, bridges. Countries also need intangible bridges that can flow the knowledge from one place to another. We also believe that those bridges of knowledge are a public good that need to be nurtured at the national and at state level. For that, the leadership of government is key, but they also require the close collaboration from the private sector to achieve effective results. The audience attending today is a great example of that, having here people from both the public and private sectors and from both countries. What we do? We really, right now, we have 3 main programs that we are working, and the other things that we do is events like this to connect and really ignite interesting projects. We have 3 projects that are first the ChileMass Teachers, because, as we said before, education is key for innovation. So we are investing in teachers from Chile and helping them with a program that they come to improve their English, and they come to Boston for a stay to learn about these public school systems, you know, that is the best in the US and one of the best in the world. So we seriously want to invest in our teachers, and we invite you to collaborate with us with that program. It's amazing, and in the future, we really want to bring also teachers from the US to Chile, because you know Spanish is the second language most required in the US. The other program that we have is the ChileMass Emprende program. We started that program last year with Corfo and ProChile, these 2 government agencies, in which we have 50 startups that we receive every year, and the 15 best of them, they come to Boston for 1 month. Today, we have those 15 startups here, so we invite you to go during the breaks to the lobby and sit with them, talk with them, and hopefully help them connect and collaborate. They're looking for piloting, for raising funds, so we invite them. They're really amazing projects. They're all technology-based startups, so we invite you to collaborate with us and with all these amazing projects. And last but not least, the ChileMass Hub. That is a program for companies and institutions. We have there associations, universities that want to develop innovation projects. with stakeholders from the US and Chile. We launched this program in 2019, just before the pandemic started. And we love to see here so many people in that picture that are the same that are here today. So we have a very loyal community of ChileMass, so we are so happy to have you here. We are very happy to announce that we have now 5 members of the ChileMass Hub. You can see there AgroSuper, Soza Hub, Fundación Codea, Universidad Andrés Bello, and the Chamber of Construction. Now, hopefully, it's going to be Corporación Ciudades. And we hope to add a couple new members very soon. With each of them, we have developed amazing projects. And one of the most important ones is the one that we will be announcing today in a couple of hours. An amazing project that we will be bringing a lab of MIT to the south of Chile, to the region of Biobío, to Concepción. So, but that's one big project. It's a $4 million project for 4 years. But we have so many new projects that we will be announcing soon with other members. Finally, I want to thank our board here today and our incredible team, Jimena, Cote, Jennifer, and Juan de Dios, for your passion and dedication. To the Ministry of Foreign Affairs present here today, the Embassy of Chile, Corfo, and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We have big dreams for our organization. We count on your support to continue growing. We are convinced that collaboration is key, and our initiative can not only help our countries, but also create a better and more sustainable world for everyone. Thank you.